Hi guys! Today I'm going to be showing you how to change your bag. There are a few things I want to talk about before I actually take this off so I'm not dripping all over the place. I just want to mention that first of all, I'm going to be using the template that Hollister provides first because my stoma is now circular, but when it was irregular, I used to trace on this and then save this and use this to trace on my next bag. Another thing I also wanted to mention is that most people use these skin barrier wipes after the stoma powder, but I was advised not to do this by a stoma nurse just because I had a lot of leaks. Another really great tip is to tuck in just a towel, you can wash it afterwards, into your pants so that you don't drip all over what you're wearing. And I usually wear a sports bra so my shirt doesn't keep falling and getting in the way. Also, one more thing before we start, I usually lay out my supplies beforehand so that I don't have to struggle to get them out. So without further ado, let's start to change. I usually use these adhesive remover wipes. Not everyone uses these, but my skin is really sensitive, so I like to just use this. So I start with the waterproof barrier and just kind of pull it away from my skin as I'm doing this. And I just kind of slide it under to break the seal. So this just kind of so I'm not tugging away at my skin as much. Also, I just had a leak last time, so my skin is pretty sensitive. This makes it a little bit easier on the skin. And I usually throw things away as I'm going along so that I don't clutter up my workspace. Alright, so it looks like my skin is doing a lot better. So I just take the bag, fold it over, throw it away. So next what you want to do is just take a gauze and clean off the skin with just some saline solution, saline water, just around to, oh, I'm dripping a little bit already. Another thing is I actually, thank you, my mother is here helping me today. Hello. I also actually eat a few marshmallows, like a few minutes before I change because that actually helps to slow down your digestion process. So just to try and keep myself from leaking all over the place. Okay, so once I get the skin just kind of cleaned around, I usually take one of these gauze and open it up, fold it over, and wrap it around the stoma so that the clean skin doesn't get any stool on it. I always call it my volcano. I make a little volcano around it, and I always hope it doesn't explode. Actually, I lied. I need to do this really quickly. I'm going to measure around my stoma to see what I can cut as. So I think it's just about 1 inch. Okay, but I see that there's a little bit on the side that I need to cut off. So usually I just take a marker, and I mark where, the stoma ends. So now I can use my little volcano, wrap it around my stoma. Just make sure that it's right up against that. Okay. So the next thing you want to do while your stoma is nice and wrapped is take your bag and trace on it. I'm using convex bags because my stoma, the hole where the stool comes out is pretty close to the skin, so they wanted to push the skin away from my stoma. It's been working out. I've only used it once, but it's been working pretty well. Okay, so this was the top. I did this kind of wrong, but that's okay. Okay, so you just trace around. The 1 inch is pretty good over here, and then I just cut it off a little bit, like that. Okay, and now we cut. Okay, so I use these these like rounded scissors, curved. Thank you. And that just helps cut a round circle. You want to make sure that you pull the bag away also so that you don't cut the plastic in the bag. Then you'd have to start all over again, and that could get frustrating. So you just cut right around where you marked, and I'm going to cut it a little bit short because my stoma is a little oblong. Alright. Oops. That's never happened before. Make sure that it gets out of the bag. Okay. So then what you do is you pull away, and just like that, and you throw that away. Now you can use stoma paste, but I actually use the stoma rings, which are really nice. I absolutely love them. So you just take that out. And actually, this is too big for my stoma, so what I was told to do is break it in half. This is just like the paste, except it doesn't have alcohol in it, which actually is really nice because then if your skin is a little bit irritated, it doesn't sting because there's no alcohol in it. So,
did you test it to make sure that after you cut it open?
Oh, I should actually test it. Thank you. I'm going, ooh. And it's always important to stay calm, unlike me where I just jumped. So good thing we had that, and my volcano was a little defective. So you just clean the skin off, no big deal, a little bit of stool on my hand, but you know, you learn to deal with it. By the way, I think it's good to mention that I was extremely germophobic before I got my stoma, especially about bathrooms, and now look at me, I'm playing in my own poop. So I'm going to measure this to just see if it fits over. Looks like it's pretty good. So I just take that off. No, it's not too tight. I need another volcano.
Oh, oops.
Thank you.
It's
I know, we'll take care of that afterwards. It's really important. I know it gets really frustrating, but if your stoma is leaking, it's really important to wipe that skin away with saline because just leftover stool residue on your skin is very irritating. You can kind of see that there's still a little bit of red where I had my leak last time. Okay, so wipe some stool off of that. When you take your barrier ring, you want to warm it up in between your hands, and it's very pliable, very forgiving material. It's really great. So I was told to roll it like a snake or a worm, and okay, it needs to be a little bit longer, and just kind of stretch it a little bit, and just put it around your hole that you cut out. That seems pretty good. Then you can pat it down if you want. I really like this a lot better than the paste because the paste is not as forgiving as this ring is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean off my skin because it leaked a little bit. So I'm just going to clean this off again with some saline solution. Thank you, and luckily I have a helper since I am still a little bit new at this. So, there we go. And the big thing about changing this, usually, you know, sometimes my stoma is very quiet, but if it's not, the key thing is to have patience because, you know, it can get frustrating when your stoma keeps being active, so that's what the marshmallows and the Imodium usually help with. So I like to, you know, just kind of fan it off a little bit. Let's try the volcano again. Sometimes this works great, just not today. So next I'm going to use my stoma powder.
You've got a few red dots here, and I wonder if those
okay, so this is another thing that I have a problem with. I get this kind of yeast infection around my stoma, so it looks like just a bunch of little dots. I don't have it too bad right now, but we use this nystatin powder just on the area where it looks like it may have, you know, a little bit of yeast. And then the rest, I use just the regular stoma powder. And you just kind of nicely put that around. Kind of get it underneath too, where the stoma is. And then you want to brush it off so that there's just a little bit of stoma powder.
She brushed it off a lot more.
Yes, she did, I know. I'm working on it. So, we went to a stoma nurse because I had like 3 leaks because my skin was in such bad shape. And she really brushed off the stoma powder so there was almost nothing left, kind of like that. So, I'm just going to try and imitate her because it seemed to stick really well. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now you take your volcano off, hope that it doesn't leak, and stick this on. Alright, so there we go. Now you want to warm up the wafer barrier kind of thing, so that's really important because then it kind of sticks to your skin and it just helps create a really great seal. While you're doing that, while it's sticking on, you can open it up and crease this. It just makes it a little bit easier to empty out. And then I usually, here, let me go grab it really quick. Sorry, my drain is sticking out. I usually use just this lubricating deodorant. I usually put it in when I change it and sometimes when I empty it as well. It just helps for stool not to pancake onto your bag. So you just kind of put in what you think would be like a teaspoon worth and you close it up. Just let it drip in a little bit. Yeah, it did. Okay, so you just 1, 2, 3, and then you snap it. And then you can work your way down around the stoma too, because that's usually where mine pancakes, and up around the sides. So just keep warming it. And while you're warming it, I make sure that I make my stomach as flat as it can be in order to simulate that I'm standing up. And you want to remove your waterproof barrier and just kind of pat it down.
Remove the backing.
Yeah, oh sorry, remove the backing to the waterproof barrier. Okay, just like that. Mine is actually really close to my belly button, my stoma is. So sometimes I have to cut a little bit of the waterproof barrier because it goes over my belly button, and when it does that, it doesn't get as good of a seal because, you know, it has nothing to stick to. So I'm just going to snip, snip, snip. Just a little bit so it goes around it. And then you throw this away. You hand your helper the scissors and you just keep warming it up, warming it up. Also, oh, well, I don't need to with this, but you just, when I had the flat bag, I used to take it and really press it underneath my stoma. With this, you don't really need that as much. And also with the convex, you have little hooks to hook a belt just to kind of make it a little bit more secure. So you just wrap it around you, and this is actually, I love the belt. It makes me feel really great. I feel more confident going out in public. It just gives you a little bit more of a hold. So I think that I didn't really forget much, so I hope this was helpful. And you got to see a little bit go wrong with the volcano and the stool leaking. So keep staying positive, keep learning, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.